Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu salam Rasulullah. We continue reading from Imam Al-Ghazali's Jawahir al-Quran with the Jews of Quran spells. We're still reading from Surah Fussilat, and we have already said that Imam Al-Ghazali chose 4 verses, 33 to 36. In the last session, we spoke about the fate of the peoples of Ad and Thamud, and the punishment that they have faced in this life, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent their way in the case of Ad, severe wind, and in the case of Thamud, there was a blast. And inshallah we'll just read the verses and move forward. أعوذ بالله السميع من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فأما عاد فاستكبروا في الأرض بغير الحق وقالوا من أشد منا قوة أولم يروا أن الله الذي خلقهم هو أشد منهم قوة وكانوا بآياتنا يجحدون. As for Ad, they acted arrogantly throughout the land with no right. No one has a right to be arrogant, Muslim or non-Muslim. That's a big mistake for the Muslim if he or she acts arrogantly. The more you understand your role, your place, what's expected of you, real Islamic ethics and morality, you cannot act arrogantly. The Prophet ﷺ was very humble, and there is a hadith, I love this hadith, really. Someone came, a Bedouin, Arabi, he came, he wants to meet the Prophet ﷺ. He heard about the Prophet and he just came to see him, to talk to him, find guidance. When he arrived in Medina, the Prophet ﷺ was sitting outside. He was amongst his companions. And this is the beautiful question that the Bedouin raised. He asked, "Who is Muhammad amongst you?" So what's so special about this question that I love? It's because the Prophet ﷺ did not distinguish himself in seating. He did not distinguish himself in clothing. He did not distinguish himself like the emperors and those who carry around golden things. Nothing, of course, that would indicate that this man is different from his companions. Very humble. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent severe wind. فأرسلنا عليهم ريحا صرصرا في أيام نحسات نذيقهم عذاب الخزي في الحياة الدنيا والعذاب الآخرة أخزى وهم لا ينصرون. So we sent against them a furious wind. صرصر, it is bitter and screaming, صرصر. So we sent against them a furious wind for several miserable days to make them taste a humiliating punishment in this worldly life. But far more humiliating will be the punishment of the hereafter, and they will not be helped No one will render them victorious, no one will assist them, no one will prevent this punishment from taking place. And we said before that the severe wind, when it reaches certain speed, like 700 miles per hour, it would rip the flesh of the bones. As for Thamud, وأما ثمود فهديناهم فاستحبوا العمى على الهدى فأخذتهم صاعقة العذاب الهون بما كانوا يكسبون. As for Thamud, we showed them guidance, but they preferred blindness over guidance. So the blast of a disgracing punishment overtook them for what they used to commit. They chose basically misguidance, العمى, blindness, but it's really misguidance, the opposite of guidance. This misguidance, what did they do? They chose to worship man-made statues, totems, icons, but they are all man-made idols. And on one level, they wanted to worship, so it fulfilled something innate in them. They wanted to worship something greater than them, but the problem is that they have created the object that they worshipped. But then no idol ever dictates a way of life. There are no obligations. There's no path. You cannot taste the sweetness of obedience that comes from divine commandment. And seriously, it's very problematic if you have an idol that you know that it is man-made. Someone with a chisel and a hammer. It could be a cast, could be the result of mass production today. It could be imported from China, as they produce so many things, because it's going to be costly in your country. So Ad and Thamud have been punished. The messengers came, they delivered the message, revelation. They asked them to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, none but Allah. And they simply, as an excuse, they wanted to see angels as the ones who would disseminate or reach out to them. And we know from the Qur'an that had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent an angel, that angel would take the form of anthropos. We talk about they take the human form, if you will. And وَنَجَّيْنَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ, and we saved those who were faithful and were mindful of Allah. They are God conscientious. وَيَوْمَ يُحْشَرُ أَعْدَاءُ اللَّهِ إِلَى النَّارِ فَهُمْ يُوزَعُونَ. Consider the day when the enemies of Allah will be gathered for the fire. The fire, we talk about the fire, as in hellfire, and the hereafter. All driven in ranks. حتى إذا ما جاءوها شهد عليهم سمعهم وأبصارهم وجلودهم بما كانوا يعملون وقالوا جلودهم لم شهدتم علينا قالوا أنطقنا الله الذي أنطق كل شيء وهو خلقكم أول مرة وإليه ترجعون وما كنتم تستترون أن يشهد عليكم سمعكم ولا أبصاركم ولا جلودكم ولكن ظننتم أن الله لا يعلم كثيرا مما تعملون وذلك ظنكم الذي ظننتم بربكم فأرداكم أصبحتم من الخاسرين. So once they reach hellfire, but on that day حتى إذا ما جاءوا شهد عليهم سمعهم وأبصارهم وجلودهم بما كانوا يعملون. When they reach it, their ears, eyes, and skin will testify against what they used to do. It has been reported that Ibn Kathir in his commentary, Tafsir Ibn Kathir, commentary on the Qur'an, of course, that on the day of judgment, the wicked, those who are destined to hellfire, will deny the evil deeds in their records as a desperate attempt as last to escape the horrible punishment in hell, to ditch the punishment. They will be asked if they accept Allah, the angels, or even their own families and neighbors as witnesses, but they will refuse. So Allah will make their own organs testify against them. Now, there are those who will ask, they might cross their mind that how could these organs testify against them, for example, the skin. And today it is possible to, of course, the word download that I'm using doesn't mean you download like from a computer to a memory stick, but scholars were able to edit the DNA, if you will, and to edit DNA and literally write things on the DNA. It's been around for quite a few years now. And they have been able to write simple sentences, even equations, so writing on organic cells, so it's not really on silicon chips, if you will, has been around for some 20 years at least, if not more. And even if you think about it, all the information on the DNA you might want to ask yourself, where did all this come from? You don't. Simply mapping the human genome, it took teams from several European countries in addition to Japan, and like Germany was part of it, the United States. So several countries, tens of scientists, simply to map it, simply to write down as much as they can, of course, because they will ultimately say that there is quote unquote junk things that they did not, they said might not have, or that doesn't have a function. All these things, like when you talk about the appendix in human, in the digestive system, of course it hasn't been added. There are no mistakes. So the skin is a witness. Your organs are witnesses. When you use them, it's one of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I mean, this is why if it comes to the eye, you lower your gaze. If it comes to your tongue, don't use it except, and that's really the true meaning of being thankful, that you use whatever ni'mah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed in you, any grace, gift that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed in you, use it according to the divine plan of things to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The tongue is able, Imam Ghazali listed 20 defects of the tongue. Don't backbite, don't lie, no false witnessing, do not insult, do not use obscene language. So they will ask their own skins, of course they're angry with their own skin. Why have you testified against us? It will say, we have been made to speak by Allah, who causes all things to speak. He is the one who created you at the first time, and to him you were bound to return. You did not bother to hide yourselves from your ears, eyes, and skin to prevent them from testifying against you. Rather, you assumed that Allah did not know much of what you used to do. It has been said, and this is only to drive a message, it has been said, and this is not really that you'll try seriously, you'd realize immediately that there is no where as such as in the following. If you decide to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to commit sin, find a place to commit this sin where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot see you. Of course, there is no such a place. Or you might say where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot hear you, and there is no such a place. A place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't know what's going on in your heart. There's no such a thing. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees that He covers for you, He keeps your image intact in public. But deep in your heart, you should know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows your shortcomings. And what do you do with shortcomings, with sin? Ask for forgiveness. And be true to yourself. Straighten your act. Return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was that false assumption you entertained about your Lord that has brought about your doom. So you have become losers. فَإِن يَصْبِرُوا فَالنَّارُ مَثْوًى لَهُمْ وَإِن يَسْتَعْتِبُوا فَمَا هُمْ مِنَ الْمُعْتَبِينَ. Even if they endure patiently, the fire will always be their home. And what kind of patience do people have against against hellfire? It's not possible. It's not possible. But patience in this life, if they insist on disbelief, if they insist on arguing in vain, not really seeking truth, arguing, debating the messengers, the prophets, then they are destined. The hellfire is their abode. That's their home, meaning in the hereafter. If they try to find just fake excuses, if they want to apologize, if they will not give, they will not be granted that chance. فيستعتبوا فما هم المعتبين. The Prophet ﷺ, for the believers, of course, the Prophet ﷺ said, لك العتبى حتى ترضى. So here basically he's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying clear, if there's anything that I have done, said, which is still is an action. Speech is an action. Okay. If I have done anything wrong, there's two. If I have angered you, if I have, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to get rid of it as a behavior, for example. And I admit, I admit that I'm weak. And it has been mentioned in Arabic poetry. أما العتاب فبالأحبة أخلق والحب يصلح بالعتاب ويصدق. So to apologize, to seek forgiveness, that's basically the manner, the trait of the lovers. And love fixes through apology, and to be truthful. And you don't basically talk like this, al-itab, except that if there is love. Almost literally, that's not almost, really, literally, 42 years ago, someone said, العتاب صابون القلوب, that when someone addresses you, when someone talks to you, when someone asks for an explanation for a behavior that was offensive, that's صابون القلوب, that's the soap with which you cleanse the heart. The body on the outside is material soap, and we are very good at shampoos and soaps, body wash, and all these things. We are very good at these things, but how to cleanse the heart? Sufficed, inshallah, for this session. And the next one, with Allah Azza wa Jal, we'll begin with verse 25. We place at their disposal evil associates who made their past and future misdeeds appealing to them. Bad company. in the true sense, the worst company. So the fate of earlier communities of jinn and humans has been justified against them as well, for they were truly losers. Until then, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.